This gun is rarely used, but it can do massive damage. Here's why you should try it. The AGM/42 has the fastest optimal time to kill of any semi-auto rifle in the assault class out to like 100 meters, where the vast majority of fights happen. It fires faster than all of the other semi-auto options in the class except the Braider with its burst fire mode, and it hits for 50 plus damage to the head out to that 100 meter range, meaning 2-shot headshot kills at 450 RPM, which makes this an exceptional counter-sniping tool. So if you get sick of those guys LARPing it up in wildly distant positions as if their life is actually at risk, give this gun a go and punish them. It's super satisfying and fun if you can get the hang of it.
Explosive placed and counting down.
Combine that with a solid body shot times kill as long as you can hit the target consistently, and you got a weapon that can delete enemies before they have any idea what's happening. One of the biggest problems you face in Battlefield is getting outgunned at mid-range because of the map design. The AGM/42 solves that with superior accuracy and stopping power with that fast fire rate for a semi-auto. Hit your shots and you're borderline untouchable. Do actually hit those shots though. The balancing factor is you only have 11 rounds, and if you do miss at too high a percentage, fully automatic weapons are going to ruin you, so a bit of a skill cannon, but also extra bragging rights if you can do well with it. Plus that noise. Very unique and pretty cool looking overall. I'll use the word unique again. This is a very unique looking weapon. This is decked out in the white tiger skin with a medium range scope. Now obviously this is all opinion, and if you don't agree with me, that's why we have a comment section. Let me know, give me a list of best guns, I'll read it. But what if you don't want a skill cannon or a semi-auto at all? Enter the Sturmgewehr 1-5. It feels like half the frickin' assault players in the game are using this, so yes, it's obviously good. The Sturm is that perfect middle ground. Solid damage, a fire rate of 670 RPM, and controllable recoil. You want versatility? This is it. Whether you're holding angles or rushing objectives like a lunatic, the Sturm's got your back. Absolute multi-tool, spray away at close range, even mid-range at times, then learn to tap or burst fire for further ranges, and you can still contest fights. So if you don't want to think too much, which most of us don't now, hence why we all look up gun guides on YouTube, like you right now, the Sturm is a damn good choice. I will say it's very basic looking, like baby's first assault rifle, but thankfully that doesn't stop it from killing people, which is pretty important when you find yourself in World War II. Even if it is 2025 or later when you watch this. Those Germans just won't quit apparently. That's just a joke, Deutschland. Thanks for being around 4% of my audience. Please everyone subscribe in case Germany unsubs. Thank you. Medics, you beautiful reviving machines, or not in my experience. You guys also get sick of medics running over your body too, I assume. I don't know if they're blind, stupid, or selfish. Anyway, the ZK383 is the weapon for those who again love versatility. Pretty sure this was the hot choice for many guys that took the game mega seriously or played competitively. You get 2 possible rates of fire depending upon your specializations, a controlled but still lethal 514 RPM mode for accuracy and ease of use, or an aggressive 720 RPM with light bolt for shredding anything within a few meters, but actually it's not just a few meters, which is why it's so popular. The gun actually can still be controlled in the right hands to hit further out, plus it has a bipod, so you can perch it somewhere and lay down laser beam fire. That's right, you get to decide if you want to be a disciplined medic or a complete menace to 1940s society. The major downside? It's not great for long range fights without being prone or whatever for your bipod. And it isn't the easiest SMG to use, but guess what? You're a medic. Stick with your squad, heal, actually revive your stricken teammates, and if you're good enough with the gun, blast some bad guys. Or good guys, depending on who you spawned as. Or, if you're feeling like an original gangster from the 1920s who wants to zoom forward to World War II, the M1928A1 is here to make your dreams come true, but that name sucks, so we're going to call it the Tommy gun. This thing has a fire rate of either 720 RPM or 900 RPM with light bolt, and if you go for the slower one, you get a 50 round drum mag. Either way, it's a close range wrecking ball, just point, shoot, and watch enemies become a cloud of misty blood. The only real problem, you're using ammo fast. But let's be honest, if you need more than 50 rounds to kill something, that's a you problem, this gun is an innocent party. However, if you select light bolt for 900 rounds per minute, you do only get 20 rounds. So for that one, I can sympathize with you a little bit. Make sure you landed those shots. But let's address the elephant in the room. I didn't pick the Type 2A this time. Yes, I just prefer the Tommy gun for that playstyle, at least right now. And pretty much everyone knows about the Type 2A. If you don't, trust me here, you will have to just a little bit of playtime with BF5 because it's everywhere. It is also a very potent weapon alongside these two I've picked, so you'd be more than fine selecting that gun instead if you wanted to, and join the masses of other people doing exactly the same. Now for my support players, aka the people keeping the entire team's ammo supply alive, the Lewis gun is a classic and for good reason. It's got a huge 97 round magazine with extended mag, or a still sizable 47 without. If you like suppressing enemies until they give up on life, this is a great option because you don't have to select an MMG. With the Lewis gun, you get an LMG that still has a large ammo count, you can still run around with it whilst aiming, and basically do all your normal support stuff from Battlefield. In BF5, it often feels like you have to pick just pieces of your regular support duties due to the introduction of the largely passive MMGs having the large ammo counts, and a lot of LMGs having smaller mags and arguably being, on average, more close range oriented than we're used to. But not the Lewis gun, which is why I really like it. It's not the fastest firing LMG, but who cares? The point is to keep bullets flying for a while, and it's very consistent without being limiting to use. But if you want to lean into that aforementioned closer range playstyle and go run and gunning on support, I present to you the BAR M1918A2, or on this occasion just the BAR from now on because that's too much of a mouthful. It's got a fire rate of 720 RPM and just enough recoil to keep things interesting. That RPM actually puts it in amongst the lower end of the MMGs, for example, even though it's an LMG. So this is for the support players who actually move instead of turning into human sentry guns. No hate, you do what you want, but I like to run around in shooters. You get power, accuracy, if you're good with it, and the ability to fight at close to mid-range without feeling like you're dragging a fridge around the battlefield. Absolute shredder, just be careful with that ammo count of just 20 rounds, it's not a whole lot. Snipers, I see you, and I know you love your bolt actions, but let's be real, sometimes you need something with a little more forgiveness or ease of use, or something that, at least on PC, many say is overpowered. The ZH29 is that weapon. Now I play on console, so it's not such a big deal, but it's still perfectly designed for swift murdering in the right hands, and does still have some console players saying it's broken, to be fair. A self-loading rifle that 2-taps enemies to the chest, which means it easily outclasses bolt action rifle users unless they're consistently hitting headshots. It's got a fire rate of either 150 or 164 rounds per minute, depending upon your specializations. So if you miss a lot, it sucks. You'll get absolutely mauled, like with the Medic RSC in Battlefield 1. But just like with that gun, if you land your shots, it's such a limited amount of time for the enemy to react after the first shot that you can really dominate. And for my aggressive scouts, the trench carbine is just a blast to use, but only if you do one thing, and that thing is to pick the selective fire trigger. This sets it to fully automatic. No messing around tapping the trigger trying to hit 360 rounds per minute manually, just hold the trigger down. It's essentially a baby SMG disguised as a scout weapon. Think of it like this: if you want to be a scout but you also want to rush objectives with that bloodlust, the trench carbine says why not do both? And I say good point. Pop a flare off and hunt down your kills using the minimap. Try it, please, if you haven't. Or if you have, just give it a go again. It's about pure fun. It really, really delivers that. And is that not what games are about? Maybe. Either way, try it. Right. Like and sub, social media in the description for shorts and stuff. Give me your list, and here's the video for my pick for the best BF1 guns in 2025. If you enjoyed this one, give it a go. Thanks. I'll see you soon.